What's good, YouTube? It's your girl E Smith. I'm back with another video. I want to give a huge shout out to my Mellow Clan family. Thank you guys for continuing to come back and rock with me time after time. You feel me? You guys are my folks, and without you, my channel wouldn't exist. Alright? And if you're new to the channel, welcome to Mellow Talk. This is a safe space I created for us to come and discuss various viewpoints, opinions, and perspectives regarding true crime stories. Now, I want to thank you all for being here, because fact of the matter is, you could be anywhere in the world, but you right here chopping it up with me, and I'm digging that. So look, take some time and give this video a thumbs up, okay? Like this video. Also, we're still on the road to 1K subscribers. We're growing nicely. I want to get this Mellow Clan family as big as we can get it. I love all y'all. So go ahead and subscribe, alright? Make sure you turn on the notification bell so that way when I drop new content, you'll be the first to get it. Now, there's only one rule to this channel, and that rule is, as we discuss our different viewpoints and opinions, that we do it with respect, alright? I do not want my platform to be one where we come to spew hate to one another. This is a no-hate zone. Now, before we get into today's story, I do want to give a disclaimer that everything that I post on this channel is for educational purposes only. This is research that I've done online, and I've compiled it in a video to share with you guys for entertainment purposes, okay? Also, this story is pretty gruesome, okay? So if things like that affect you in a negative way or trigger you in a negative way, I want to advise that you sit this one out in hopes that my next video will be one that you can enjoy to the fullest. Now, let's get into today's story. It's about Colleen Ritzer, a prominent math teacher in Danvers, Massachusetts. The details are crazy. In Lawrence, Massachusetts, May 13, 1989, Colleen was born to her parents, Thomas and Peggy Ritzer, alright? She was the oldest of 3 children and described as being very, very close to her family, okay? She loved her siblings and her mom and dad very, 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 very much. Now, she knew from a young age, like as early as preschool, that she wanted to be a teacher. As she went through school, she became really good at math and decided that she would pursue higher education and become a math teacher, and she actually did that and accomplished it. Later, after becoming a teacher, she lived with her parents in Danvers, Massachusetts. Her parents said that she would always come to their door and give her goodbyes before she went to work for the day. Now, Colleen was described as a very passionate teacher, one who went above and beyond to reach and teach her students. And one of the ways that she did that was through her Twitter profile. She was very active on Twitter and often posts due dates, cute little math riddles, and reminders for her students. Looking at her profile, you could tell that, her job was her life. Her dad even told her that, she could do something else, making more money, but she did not care. This was what she wanted to do. This is what she was passionate about, and it really showed. Sometimes on her Twitter profile, you would get a peek into her personal life, which you saw that she loved to spend time with family. She loved to bake, and she loved to watch different TV show episodes. She was just not one of those teachers who were there for the check. Her students actually loved her. And there was one tweet of hers that really stuck out to me, and I'll tell you why later, but check it out. In October of 2013, Colleen had been teaching at Danvers High School now for nearly 2 years. Alright, it was October, the weather was changing, the fall was coming in, and according to her mom, this was absolutely her favorite time of year, as Halloween was like one of her favorite holidays. She loved to dress up as another way to celebrate and connect with her students. During this time, Colleen received a new student into her class. It was a 14-year-old male student who had moved from Tennessee with his mom due to a bad divorce from his dad. He was described as being fairly shy and staying to himself. However, he was very much so academically smart. He excelled in school a great deal and was a super great soccer player. His name was Philip Chism. On October 22nd of 2013, Colleen came in dressed like another teacher for a twin day they were having at the school for a regular day of classes, alright? She taught her classes as usual and stayed after as she would normally do, to help students who needed extra help. Now, during algebra class, according to a student earlier that day, Philip, instead of taking notes, he was drawing in class. Now, when Colleen observed him drawing, she didn't walk over and scold him or embarrass him. She actually complimented him on his artistic skills, and then later asked him if he would stay after class with her. After all the students left, Philip stayed after class, as well as another female student. Okay. Now, the female student said that while she was in the room, she heard Miss Colleen and Philip talking about China. Then there was a point in time where Colleen mentioned his hometown, Tennessee. And according to that student, he became visibly upset. Now, I'm not sure what he did to indicate that he was upset. I don't know if he made a face. I don't know what he did, but they said he became visibly upset at the mention of Tennessee. When Colleen observed his reaction, she immediately tried to change the subject and talk about something different. And according to that student, he went on to just mumble and talk to himself under his breath, obviously still upset. After this exchange, the female student that stayed after gave Miss Colleen a hug and gave her a compliment, said her goodbyes. Colleen gave her a hug and she left. Now, Colleen went out and spoke with the teacher that she was dressed like for the day. They had a little conversation about a couple of things, nothing in particular. She went back into the classroom where she was alone with Philip. Okay. She then excused herself to the restroom. Okay. Now, the security cameras inside of Danvers High School actually captured her going to the restroom. Check this out. Okay, just a teacher going to the restroom, perfectly normal, right? But it's what the security footage captures next that is chilling, and this is when things take a different turn. Check this out. So as you can see in the footage, Philip came out of the classroom. He kind of looked around, looked through the hallways a little bit, peeped the scene, put his hood on his head, and you can see his jacket pockets are bulged in the front, and he goes in the same direction as Miss Colleen. Then he starts to put gloves on, and he goes in the restroom with her. What this shows is a female student walks in the restroom some minutes after them, okay? And as you can see, she did not stay long at all. She left immediately. She would later say that when she walked into the restroom, the reason she left so quickly was because she saw someone's bare behind, okay? She doesn't know, and she said that they were leaning toward the sinks. Now, she said she didn't know if maybe someone was changing, but whatever it was, she said she didn't hear anything. So whatever it was, she just wanted to give them some privacy. If somebody's changing clothes and their bare behind is out, let me get out of here because I don't want to see it. And she left, all right? Now we see Philip leave the restroom in a rush, and it's kind of hard to see, but his hands are actually covered in blood at this time. If you look really closely, you can see that his hands are bloody, okay? He leaves and he goes out to the parking lot, and he comes back. It looks like he gets some of his things out of the classroom, and then you see him leaving again with a red sweater tied around his head, okay? Now you see Philip return into the frame wearing a full black face mask on his face with a white t-shirt, gloves on, and not only that, he's rolling a recycling bin. Okay, so he's rolled a recycling bin up to this second floor restroom. He took it into the restroom. He comes back out with it. Now you see him taking it through the hallways to the parking lot outside and away from the school. Now nobody has stopped him or said anything, inquired why he was rolling a recycling bin with a mask and gloves on. I think that if I saw it, I would have looked at him twice. I would have wondered what was going on, okay? Now about an hour later, he comes back into the frame and goes back and enters the same restroom that he left out of. Okay, he stayed in there for some time. He came out. All right. Now later that day, Philip doesn't return home from school. Now his mom is worried. So she contacts the school. She contacts local police because she's called his cell phone. She's done everything she could and she cannot reach him. Okay. So the school starts to look for him. Remember, he was a very good soccer player. She reached out to the soccer coach. The soccer coach said he was absent from practice today. But again, it didn't alarm him because students miss practice all the time for whatever reasons, So it wasn't too much, of alarm to the soccer coach. But now the soccer team is looking for him. Also at this same time, Colleen has not returned home from work. Now, her parents described her as a creature of habit and a person that was routine with everything she did. She came to their doors every day, told them goodbye. She went to work. She stayed after to help students who needed extra help. She came home. She watched TV with her parents. She graded papers. She did the same thing every day. So her parents are equally as concerned as to why she has not returned home, because it's not like her to do anything different, okay? And if it is, she would let them know if she was doing something different. So now we have a missing 14-year-old boy and we have a missing math teacher, okay? So at the time, it's not thought that these two incidents are related, but this student was in her class. So did they go somewhere together? Did she maybe give him a ride home? Maybe they're messing around. Who knows, right? So they went to the school to look for Colleen. They went in her classroom. Nothing looked out of place. Her sweater was still there that she wore. Her car was still at the school. Nothing really looked out of place, but her family definitely knew something was wrong. Something is not right. And of course, as an adult, right, you could decide that you just don't want to tell anybody what you're doing that day. And you might run off and go do something different, So the priority for authorities was to find the boy, the minor 14-year-old boy. So they put a tracker on his phone. At about 12:30 a.m. that next morning, they found Philip walking along a highway. They stop him. They talk to him. He's wearing a backpack. They search the backpack, okay? When they look in the backpack, they find a bloody box cutter. They find bloody gloves, okay? They ask him, where did the blood come from? His response simply was, the girl. That's all he said, right? And upon further searching through the backpack, they found Miss Ritzer's driver's license. They found her credit cards. Philip had been to the movies and actually bought fast food and a movie ticket with her credit cards, okay? And now he's just walking along the highway at 12:30 in the morning. So they arrest him and charge him with murder. So authorities go to the school. We're looking around for evidence, everything looks pretty normal, right? Except they go into that restroom and it smells of chemicals, like it's been cleaned really well. However, on the way out, they see a faint bloody handprint. Now it's known, okay, something has went on up here, okay, in this restroom. In a further search of school grounds, they found Colleen's bag in between some rocks in the woods outside of the school. And they found next to it or near it, they found like bloody sneakers, blood splattered leaves near the bag. It was lots of blood splattered evidence out there in the woods. Also in the woods, near all of that evidence, they found the recycling bin that had blood inside of it. Now, a police chemist was out there searching and saw a pink toe sticking up out of the leaves and stuff. So they uncover it, and that's where they find Miss Colleen Ritzer's body legs spread, no clothes at the bottom, shirt pulled up, with a note that says, "I hate you all," near her body. She had also been violated with a branch that was still inside of her when she was found. So ultimately that day after school, she went into that restroom. Philip went into that restroom behind her, strangled her, stabbed her in the neck 16 times, and sexually assaulted her. When he was interrupted by that student, he had to stop and he had to think fast. He went and got a recycling bin and drug her to the woods where he finished the assault. And after that, he went and watched a movie and bought some food with her credit card. Now the defense for Philip, they went to argue that he was in psychosis, that he's mentally ill, and that is why this happened. You know, according to Philip himself, she triggered him. She said the trigger word, but he wouldn't say what that word was. Maybe it was Tennessee, I don't know. But this is crazy. This is crazy that this was able to happen inside of a school during school hours like that. He walked by so many people. Well, not so many, but there were several people who walked by him. And it's just crazy how you never know what somebody did. Like we walk by killers and every day and we don't even know it. It could be us. And it just happened to not be us that day, you know? It's so crazy. You know, but they want to paint him as mentally ill. But the prosecution says, I don't know. He took a box cutter and gloves and a change of clothes with him to school and a mask. He planned this. This was premeditated. What do you think? You know, they said that Philip never showed any signs of this behavior. He wasn't a person who, you know how they say, you know, when a child is like that, you see all these different warning signs. They said Philip didn't have the warning signs. So what do you guys think? Do you think that, you know, Philip was mentally ill at the time that he committed this offense? I mean, look at all of the cruel things that he did to her. And he is 14 years old. And he went and watched a movie? What do you think? Psychotic or premeditated? I want to give a big shout out to Miss Colleen Ritzer's family. Rest in peace to her. I was talking about one of her tweets that stuck out to me earlier, and the reason why that tweet stuck out to me is because this is how she lived her life. Everybody that knew her had nothing but good things to say about her. She never missed milestones in her friends' lives. She loved her siblings. She loved her mom and dad. A family friend even said that the family that they had, like, if everybody had a family like that, there would be no trouble in the world. And I think that's a great thing to say about somebody and their whole family. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comments. And again, I want to thank you all for being here. Because fact of the matter is, you could be anywhere in the world, but you right here chopping it up with me, and I'm digging that. So before you go, become part of the Mellow Clan family now. Subscribe, like this video, give it a thumbs up, turn on your notification bell so that way when I drop new content, you'll be the first to get it. Love y'all. Peace out.
Yeah, I love that OG in my switch lane. I'ma roll it up, so bring a lighter with you. Got the top roll back when I'm riding